Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. It is currently 11:06 a.m. Wednesday, March the 27th, 2024, year of our Lord. And it has been raining cats and dogs all night. Started yesterday about 1:30, 2 o'clock, somewhere around in there. And it did not let up until about 9 o'clock this morning. And thankfully, I didn't have any maintenance scheduled today, but I did have a tree job on the list for this weekend, or well, I say this weekend, for Friday. And I've also got pine straw on the list for Friday. And I've got one more tree job on the list for Friday, and I've got 1 yard to mow Friday. But so what I did, instead of moping around and complaining about the rain, I decided to be proactive. It's something I normally do when it's raining on my days that I'm scheduled to work. I try to find something to do in my business. I don't just sit idle and wait for the rain to quit. I stay busy. You know, when I woke up this morning, it was thundering and lightning, raining cats and dogs. So the wife and I, we had a cup of coffee. And I saw them off to work and school. And once they left, I had breakfast with my oldest daughter before she went off to her college courses. And when she left, I went ahead and made out my schedule for the year, my routes for the year. You know, I haven't had a chance to do that yet because this is my first week being a full-time landscaper. I haven't had a chance to route all of my customers yet, so I went ahead and done that. That took me about an hour, and thankfully I have Yardbook, and Yardbook allows me to send out a mass email. And what I did was I would take every customer that was going to be on Monday, and I would send them an email. Every customer on Tuesday, send them an email, and so on and so forth, all the way Monday through Friday. And it cuts your time down when you're sending out messages, emails, and things like that, trying to communicate with your customers. And I highly recommend that you guys get a CRM because it just makes life so much easier, from quoting jobs to sending messages out to billing. It just makes life that much easier. And I'm telling you, man, I don't know how I would run my business without Yardbook. I really don't. And I'm sure there's other CRMs out there that are just as good, if not better. But Yardbook is just the one that I chose to use. So I highly recommend getting a CRM. And maybe that's something you can do if you don't already have one. That's something you can do on a rain day just to make your business run more smoothly. And but I did that, and I went ahead and got the tree job knocked out. The first tree job, there's 2 box elder maples, and these trees have never been pruned. And so what I did, I went over there and just lifted them up, cut some of the dead wood out of them, and it's gonna make, you know, I charged the customer for 1 hour. I charged her $70, and also charged her a haul away fee, or a dump fee, I guess you could call it. And my dump is $25 per ton, and my dump is literally 5 minutes up the road, and which is actually closed today because it's too wet, and they know people are going to be closed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this up to my mother and father-in-law's property and dump it in their pit that they use to burn. So yeah, went ahead and knocked that out, and I'm going to go ahead and go see my pine straw supplier, and I'm going to pick up 11 rolls of pine straw. That way, tomorrow I will be ready to rock and roll. And the rain is supposed to start back up again around 2, and it's supposed to end around 4. So, got a little bit done, man. And that's the main thing. You know, you want to be constructive. You don't want to just sit idle and wait for work to come to you. You don't want to sit around and wait for the rain to quit. You want to be doing something. And if there's nothing wrong with sitting back and relaxing, enjoying a cup of coffee, sitting by the fire, getting warm, relaxing, recharging your batteries. There's absolutely nothing with that at all. But you need to make sure your work is done first. And Make sure you've done everything that you can do, and then, only then, you can relax. So, got all that done, and yeah. And once I get home from getting pine straw, I'm gonna scrape my decks and sharpen my blades on my mower, and be ready to rock and roll for Monday. Well, I say Monday. I've got 1 yard to do Friday, but that ain't gonna take but about 30 minutes. And yeah, so everything will be ready to go, man. But I want to talk about charging customers for things other than lawn care. You know, of course, you've got your set rates per yard to mow grass, but what do you do when it comes to trimming bushes, leaf cleanups, tree jobs? What do you do when it comes to that? The way I normally do it is it really just depends on what it is I'm doing. You know, my hourly rate is $70 an hour, and that is for every service that I offer except one. And the only time I charge more than that is if I'm doing trees. If I'm pruning trees and they are close to a structure or they are higher than 10 feet off of the ground, I double my hourly rate. So instead of $70 an hour, I charge $140 an hour if that tree is next to a structure or more than 10 feet off of the ground. And the reason I do that is for safety reasons. You know, if you cut a limb and it goes through your customer's window or knocks some siding off, or, you know, it falls and hits you upside the head and knocks you out, or an employee, anything, breaks a window in your truck, whatever it may be, you need to be able to cover that. So I always double my hourly rate when it comes to trimming trees higher than 10 feet off of the ground or close to a structure. But outside of that, anytime I am having to remove leaves or debris from a property, I charge for it. I charge my hourly rate, and if it's a customer that I service anyways, if it's a recurring lawn care customer, I charge my hourly rate, okay? My minimum for recurring lawn care customers is 1 hour. I charge $70 minimum for everything I do. Now, if it's a customer that is not a recurring lawn care customer, if it's someone that just reached out to me via Facebook, Google, word of mouth, whatever it may be, for a one-time job, whether it be anything other than lawn care, you know, I charge a 2 hour minimum, which would be $140 minimum, and charge the dump fee. Now, the dump fees, let's talk about that for a second. Do you charge dump fees? If you don't, you really should. And the reason being is because it doesn't matter what dump you go to, they're going to charge you, okay? If it's $25 per ton, or whatever it may be, you need to charge twice that, depending on how far you are from that dump. Now, if you've got several jobs lined up and you can just go dump one time, you know, split that cost between your customers. And the reason being is because it takes you time to get to that dump. It takes you gas to get to that dump. It takes you time to unload. And it takes you time to drive back to your house or your shop or wherever your home base is. Okay? Even if you have somewhere you can dump for free, like today, I'm dumping this for free, but I'm having to drive 20 minutes one way to get to that place. So I'll still charge a dump fee. That covers my time, that covers my gas, and it covers the labor to unload the debris. Now, days like today is when I wish I really had a dump trailer. Okay? I don't have a lot. It's probably, it's probably 20 branches that I cut off of these two trees. But they're good sized branches, and I can just throw them in the pit and be done with it. But if I had a dump trailer, all I would have to do is simply back up to that spot, open the gate, mash the button, pull forward, let the trailer down, close the gate, drive home. That's all I would have to do. Maybe maybe just a tad bit of blowing just to make sure everything gets in the hole or whatever it may be. But yeah. So yeah, you really need to charge for everything you do. You need to make sure all of your hours are covered. You need to make sure your fuel cost is covered, and you need to make sure every fee that you have to pay is covered. You don't want to be paying out of pocket. Now, it's up to you whether you want to charge discounts. If you're new to the business, I don't recommend charging, or I don't recommend cutting anybody any discounts. But you know, if you've been in the game for a couple years and you've got the clientele base and you can cover it, then yeah, go ahead and charge discounts if you want to. But it's really up to you how you charge. And but just make sure that you're getting paid for everything you do. I see a lot of people on YouTube saying, I don't nickel and dime my customers to death. I don't do this. It's not nickel and diming your customers, guys. If something is costing you money or is costing you time, you need to be charging for that, and you need to be compensated for that. So, yeah, I'm the same way when it comes to pine straw, and I'm the same way when it comes to mulch. I charge for the mulch, and I also add a 25% fee to whatever it is, to whatever that price comes out to be. That covers my fuel, my time, and the wear and tear on the vehicle. So, yeah, charge accordingly, guys. You are in this business to make money, okay? If you're doing services for free, if you're hauling things away for free, and if you're not charging for your time, you are losing money. And it may not catch up with you soon, but it will catch up with you eventually. And that's the type of things, the little small things, that will cause you to go out of business. And the last thing we want to do is to have to go get a real 9-to-5 job. But anyway, guys, I hope this video helped some of you some. And if you found this video useful or helpful, please consider hitting that like button and hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell to get notified anytime I put out a video. But anyway, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I'm getting close to my mother and father-in-law's property, and the rain is starting to pick back up again. And I will cut y'all back on the next one. But until then, like I say, man, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. I'll let y'all. Bye.